Alright guys, I'm back for some gaming news for this week, and let's get into it. So starting off here, we have Xbox Showcase coming June 9th with new Call of Duty and more report. We're kind of due for another Call of Duty game, so that showcase coming up would be a good time to show it, especially now that they're owned by Microsoft. According to a new report, Microsoft will host a big summertime event this June featuring a number of game announcements and release dates reveals, among other things. The Verge reported that Microsoft is in the midst of planning its previously announced summer showcase, which the site said will take place on Sunday, June 9th. The event will reportedly include the announcement of the next-gen Gears of War game, so Gears of War 6. Additionally, it's rumored Microsoft will use the event to announce the release dates for the next Call of Duty game, as well as Avowed, Indiana Jones, and The Great Circle, and Microsoft Flight Simulator. The next Call of Duty game, which is said to be a Black Ops title, is reportedly going to take place during the Gulf War. The game will feature open-world missions, just like Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, a report said. I don't know how I like that, but Xbox reported this summer showcase on June 9th, puts it just after the Summer Game Fest big showcase on June 7th. Additionally, Ubisoft's own summer event takes place on Monday, June 10th. It is expected that more game showcases will be announced in that time ahead. That's basically, E3 is pretty much all this at one time nowadays. You're going to get all these showcases within a week's time, I guess. So yeah, we're getting a new Xbox showcase, guys, from the looks of it. So guys, Star Wars Outlaws Physical Edition requires internet connection to download, so can't even play a single player game these days without freaking having that pesky online requirement. The single player Star Wars title will still require an internet connection. You might as well just avoid the physical copy at that point. Pre-orders for Ubisoft Star Wars Outlaws open this week, and a bunch of new details about the game's release have been revealed, including the fact that the single-player title will require an internet connection to download, even if you buy a physical copy of the game. Gotta love Ubisoft. As picked up by the Video Game Chronicles, the box art for Star Wars Outlaws includes the message, "Internet required to install the game." This practice isn't uncommon for physical games these days, with Ubisoft's previous title, Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora, also having a similar requirement, as well as major titles from other developers such as Hogwarts Legacy. And Ubisoft's also well known for decommissioning their servers for some of their online titles like this, so questionable. But it's most likely that the required download will be a day one patch, as was the case with Frontiers of Pandora. It's also worth noting that the warning doesn't mean an active internet connection will be required while playing the game, but you still need it to install the game, so par for the course there. Star Wars Outlaws is an open world action adventure game by Ubisoft, which will follow a cunning thief as she rises through the ranks of the galactic underworld. With the Empire distracted by increased rebel activity between the events of Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, criminal underworld is flourishing amidst the chaos. Ubisoft revealed this week that Star Wars Outlaws will launch on August 30th this year, with a short early access period for certain editions of the game. By pre-ordering the Gold or Digital Ultimate Edition, or subscribing to the Ubisoft Plus Premium, players can start playing the Star Wars Outlaws from August 27th, so it officially comes out August 30th, but if you want to play it early, just get the greater editions, I guess you call them, and you can play August 27th, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. They really need to do something about these online server things, because, I don't see, preservation-wise, they look like an absolute dumpster fire into the future. Xbox is moving full speed ahead on next-gen hardware. Get ready for the biggest technical leap. They pretty much always say that every generation, so that's nothing new. They said that same thing with the Xbox Series X, the most powerful console on the market. But Microsoft is hard at work on the next-gen Xbox hardware, after it had already confirmed that Xbox consoles would not be ending anytime soon. But anyways, according to emails acquired by Windows Central and verified by Microsoft, Xbox President Sarah Bond said, "We are moving full speed ahead on our next-generation hardware, focused on delivering the biggest technical leap ever in generations." Back in February, Bond expressed similar sentiments about how massive the technical gap for the next generation of Xbox will be. However, she stopped at mentioning any specifics such as the hardware itself of the release window. Bond also said to expect the new Xbox Series X hardware this year. Images of a white digital-only Xbox Series were leaked recently, so it is a possibility that it might be part of Microsoft's plans. Microsoft also reported working on an Xbox handheld. This hasn't been officially confirmed. That was something that Phil said too about that. But Xbox has also confirmed a new team dedicated to game preservation and forward compatibility, and the more information about it could be revealed at Xbox Showcase on June 9th. I think most people are concerned with the digital future going ahead, that they're not actually doing anything with backwards compatibility in game game preservation. Well, it looks like that's not the case here. We'll have to wait and see how Xbox shapes up with that, but hopefully they're going to do better than Sony and Nintendo and get them to start taking that seriously as well. While it may seemingly be too early to think about the next generation of consoles, Sony mentioned earlier this year that PlayStation 5 is now in the later stages of its life cycle. This means that the Xbox Series X and S is as well, given that both consoles were released in 2020. So my guess is they're talking about the following consoles after these mid-gen refreshes for the PlayStation 5 Pro and the Xbox Series X. Digital, we'll call it, because I don't know what else to call it. White digital. They're talking about what comes after that. So, Fallout 5, guys. So the next entry in the Bethesda's long-running RPG series is in the works now, but don't expect to be playing it soon. Fallout 5 is on the way. Plenty of focus on the franchise these days, and is on the Prime Video Fallout series, which premieres on April 10th. But if the series has sparked or renewed your interest in the games, you might be happy to know that Bethesda is returning to the series with a new game in the future, which they've already mentioned prior in the past. First will be Elder Scrolls 6. No one should get too excited just yet, though, as Fallout 5 is a long time away from release. However, Bethesda has already begun to talk about it, albeit at very high level. We don't know a lot about Fallout 5 yet, but there are some key things to know already, that like vaguely when it's coming out, who's making it, and some teases about the story. And Bethesda director Todd Howard said that they have a one-pager on it. Whether they actually started developing the game yet is Lord only knows. I think they have to talk about it because they're making the Fallout TV series and they're trying to avoid any lore debacles with the Fallout TV series and any of the games so that they kind of coincide with each other. I think that's actually what's going on there. There is no definitive word on when Fallout 5 will be released, but Bethesda has already confirmed that the release order for its newest game in 2021. Bethesda had said Starfield was coming out first, and then they said Elder Scrolls 6, and then Fallout 5 would follow after that. Elder Scrolls 6, and then Fallout 5 right there. Just reiterating that, I've seen articles of Todd Howard saying this multiple times, so this isn't anything new. Given that the Elder Scrolls 6 is no doubt still years away from release, 2026 is the rumored earliest possible date. The next Fallout game is surely many, many years out, of course. I don't even think they've started development on Fallout 5 yet, to be honest with you guys. I know they haven't Elder Scrolls 6 though. Technically, Fallout 5 hasn't been officially announced in form of press release or any official presentation from Bethesda, unlike the Elder Scrolls 6, which was announced as it had an E3 trailer, I remember, just showing an overview of whatever area they plan to explore in the Elder Scrolls verse. This leaves the open possibility for Bethesda to have a tight announcement to release window, like it had with Fallout 4, if the company wants to do that again. It's gonna be on Xbox and PC, guys, or outside of where things go with multi-plat with Xbox at that point. Maybe it'll be on PlayStation, no idea. Basically, that's all we need to know. Todd Howard said there's a one-pager that they have on the story, so they don't have it all fleshed out yet. Alright guys, that's all the news for this week. Any news I don't get here, I'll post on my Twitter, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace.
Check out both my Twitter for news I don't get in vid form. I also upload on TikTok and Instagram.